You know what we can't run?
An anime podcast. What? Where were you? Where
What?
were you?
What do you mean?
We do that together.
Yeah, but I want to spice things up.
You ah. For those who
Got you.
for those who are in
Oh.
watching, part 3 is episode 1 for them. I am Swarm, also known as Frank, my cohort,
Hi, I'm Erebus.
and yes, this is We Can't Run, the anime podcast.
Hello.
Now, anyone who's watched the previous 2 episodes would know that I would kick off and go, "We can't run," and then both of us would say, "The anime podcast." But this week is a bit different, supposedly. Supposedly. What a week it has been.
Mhm.
Last week we talked about a lot of things. We went through
Mhm.
our first set of recommendations for the other one, which
Yes.
was Yurikuma Arashai and Mao Sama Retry.
Mhm. And suffice it to say, we did something much more different when we chose our next recommendations.
Very different. I'm noticing a theme in the shows you give me, and I'm gonna bring that up when we get to it. But
Mhm.
for now, let's talk news. What's going on in the world? Kick it off for me.
All right. Well, I guess first things first. Why don't we talk about crime?
Crime.
Yeah. So, this news story started a couple weeks ago. So the um Shonen Jump had a manga called Act Age. I personally haven't read it, but it was a pretty, you know, it wasn't Shonen Jump, It
Mm-hmm.
was a manga people knew about.
Mm-hmm.
And around 2 weeks ago, the author of this manga was caught. How do I put this nicely? Doing a crime on a teenage girl in front of a CCTV.
Oh.
Yeah. And so, I believe he's still currently under trial, for this, but what is important to the industry, but and not to say that what's going on isn't important. It's horrific. Um, is that the manga Act Age has been suspended indefinitely.
That's actually big.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think a lot of fans are going to be sad with that one. I know a lot of people who are fans of Act Age.
you do.
A few.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've never met anyone who's mentioned Act Age to me. But then again, I don't know as many manga readers as you do.
The what I do remember, because I did briefly look over something and I went to go pull it back up. I got a tweet from the creator of We Never Learn.
Hmm.
Bokuben, as a lot of people like to call it. He said, in the case of Act Age, when it comes to the victims and Usazaki Sensei, who is the writer for Act Age, uh, and considering the feelings of the editorial department and those involved in the stage play, words cannot express the regrets, resentment, and sadness I feel as a fan. It makes me keenly realize how necessary it is to keep in mind how important people around you feel at all times. Yes, that is a quote from him,
Hmm.
and it's a when something this big happens, it affects so many people.
Yeah, it's insane that people need to be reminded of these things. But as we've learned, people, especially people in the industry, in big industries, have to, like, definitely need to be reminded about these things.
Mm-hmm. Huh. That's a big hit.
Hmm.
All right, let's see. I brought to the table the petition or idea set forth by the Naruto community and their brilliant minds. They set forth the idea of having a Naruto-inspired Lego set featuring the iconic Ichiraku ramen shop.
Okay.
Yes, so the set has been put together by over 9,000 supporters of the thing, and they're looking to try and get to 10,000 so they can ship the idea off to Lego, and hopefully they take it really seriously.
Hmm. All right.
I think it's time. I think it's time that we should be able to, anime Legos.
I'm honestly surprised that hasn't been a thing yet.
I thought so too, but the set would include the Ichiraku Ramen Shop, a
Mhm.
cart, and the younger versions of Sasuke, Sakura, and Naruto.
Mhm.
I believe there was also talk of having Kakashi and the owner. Everyone knows the owner of the ramen shop.
Mhm.
And I think there was supposed to be another one to represent a shadow clone for Naruto,
Hmm.
making it a nice full set.
Okay. Okay.
I personally think this would be great.
Yeah, I'm surprised that we haven't gotten anything like this. I would have expected with, especially as big as Naruto was in the mid to late 2000s, that like some kind of set, maybe not like a huge one, would have been made at this point, even if not by Lego themselves. Maybe like some company that's like kind of like off-brand Lego.
Hmm. Also, to see this, you can go to the Daddy Twins on YouTube, where you can see a video that they made showing some of their handmade designs for what this would look like. And might I tell you, it is amazing.
I'm sorry, they're called the Daddy Twins.
Maybe not. I don't know. It's DADI,
Oh, okay, gotcha.
representing David and Diego Escalona.
Okay, and they're twins. Okay, that makes sense.
But yes, so that's my Lego news for the week.
All right then.
I also brought for anyone like me who's been watching, keeping up with the new Pokemon anime, Pokemon Journeys, streaming over on Netflix and in some channels in the US. The second half of the series will be uploaded to Netflix on September 11th. Now, for those who've watched the first 12 episodes, you might be like me, where you were upset because it kind of left off on not really a cliffhanger, but like not everything was answered where they ended off. So, to see a continuation coming, and pretty quickly and closely, I'm very excited for this. Any word on Pokemon?
No, I don't really have too big of an opinion. I'm not the hugest Pokemon guy, personally. So it's like cool. I suppose is all I can really say. Is good for the people who enjoy this.
I mean, that's fair. Tell me, do you have another piece of news, or should I bring my last one to light?
Well, I think that I do have another piece of news, but I think that this is probably a larger topic we should talk about. I'm assuming you know what this is.
Right. I'll just handle my quick announcement then. For anyone who was looking forward for the Anime NYC, sadly it has been canceled. Most people knows that this is a convention that goes on in the Jarvis Center from November about 15th to the 17th. I believe that they have stated that the next one is scheduled for November 21st, or November 19th, rather, to the 21st of 2021. Hopefully, when the world is in a better place, we're able to get more conventions rolling and people can get back to enjoying their full glory.
Hmm. Yeah, conventions are a huge part of any community like this, where a lot of us it's hard to find people every day who are fans of anime, and so these conventions are a great place to not only learn more about it but also to get to know people in the
Some
community.
yeah. Some people have sought to use, online formats. Like for anyone who's seen Funimation Con
Hmm.
this year, they moved to an all online format, and I think they had a very nice amount of success with that. And it's something that if you are a convention organizer, it is something you might want to look into. But it's such a weird time that you're not sure what avenues to express when you're looking for how to bring forth what you've already been putting forth.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, definitely it's good that they're canceled. So I'm not sure if you're aware of this. I was only made aware of this the other day. Because what is it? Yazy. She's a well-known cosplayer, and also she is, I think she's dating Jeff Thu.
Mm.
From Mother's Basement. So she made a video about an anime convention that took place during the pandemic.
Ooh.
Physically, I haven't seen the video yet. I've seen it in my recommendations, and I've seen both of them tweet about it. And I mean, I don't think we need to get into that. I think that kind of speaks for itself. And of course, I think that I guess go watch their video. I suppose made me aware of it. So
yeah, so it's definitely it's a sad thing, but it's a necessary move to cancel all in-person events like this that would put a lot of people at risk. So, big props to them for taking the initiative that needed to be done. And hopefully 2021 we get the ball rolling again and have an even grander time.
All right. So now I suppose you should probably get to the big topic.
Let me hear.
All right. So Japan has begun has revived its copyright law. Being a lot more aggressive now. The most notable example of how this is going to affect people is as a lot of people might have noticed the closure of Kiss Anime.
Now, a lot of people really enjoyed watching things on Kiss Anime, and it became an introductory stage for a lot of people to watch more anime, and to see it to be taken down it's big. It affects a lot of people. It shows how serious Japan is, and it proves that these are changes that are coming.
Yeah. So I guess to start off, I'm gonna read down the revised copyright law that you had sent me a while ago.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So the law specifically pertains to downloading illegally uploaded or pirated manga, magazines, or academic works such as anime, films, arts, scripts, visuals, etc. Providing links to pirated media. Operating leech sites in quotations that uploads or distributes illegal and pirated media such as Kiss Anime.
Yeah.
But this does not mean that. But it's this will not affect like taking a couple screenshots of things that you're fine doing that. Dojins, fan fictions, all good, and anything else that falls under copyright and fair use.
Yeah, so it's not the heaviest thing in the world. It's just a statement that the proper people should get the proper dues for what they're putting out there. And that, downloading and sharing these things illegally prevents that. And they're trying to revise and fix that for everyone to handle things a bit better. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to go out and buy your Funimation account or buy your Crunchyroll or your Hulu or your Netflix, because there are alternatives popping up. As we spoke about last week, Toei Animation and a few other studios are opening a YouTube channel where they're going to provide subbed anime for people to watch and more things like that. So it's not the end of the world. It doesn't mean that if you don't have any way to pay $7 for Funimation that you just can't watch anime anymore. There will be ways.
Yeah, and even then, even on those sites, you can watch them. Sure, they're going to be a little low res, and you got ads, but it's not. You don't have no outlet. Is what's important.
So, this is it. This is big. This is Japan taking a step forward to making sure that everyone gets the proper rights and dues that they deserve for the work that they put in. All right. I think that cleans up our news portion.
Yeah.
Let's talk recommendations.
All right. So I guess we'll go over what we watched over the week.
This
Uh,
week I watched Rolling Girls or The Rolling Girls,
mhm.
and let me tell you, I love this show. Solid 9 out of 10. I know we talked about it last week. You said you were gonna put forth something that you thought I would enjoy, and you
Mhm.
hit the nail on the head. I really enjoyed this. I noticed you between these two shows at least, you have something to do with weird wars in anime.
Hmm. Oh, I thought you were going to say girls. Well, because when you started, you were like, I noticed a weird pattern. I thought the answer was going to be something about how both of these are primarily female led.
They are primarily female led. This one actually has some men in it, which I don't know why, but with an all female cast, it tends to put a lot of emphasis on some of the male characters that make them shine, like the dandy man, or the doctor, or the guy with the motorcycle who was the head of Mie. Like it puts a light on them that you typically don't have because typically men are always in the spotlight in most shows, so you don't really have to pay attention too much to them because they're all pretty much you know kind of the same.
Hmm.
But with this, I felt like even with that, the girls really shined out in their own rights. It's one of those shows where they offer up a lot of questions in the beginning, and this is one of the shows, unlike the one from last week, where they answer most of those questions that you have at least by the end. Some of them they wait to the very very end, but they answer those questions either way. Very colorful. The music was amazing. I found the little speaking terms that were different in most of the areas to be very interesting, especially with the geishas and the rock concert people with their different way of thinking. I think that was Kyoto, right?
I think so. It's been some time since I've seen the show.
Yeah, I'm
So,
pretty sure that was Kyoto where they would talk in a very slightly different manner from anyone else in the show. And then they had the small character arcs for each character. Uh, I did find it weird when they started introducing aliens and completely retconning the fact that people thought that the stones were, what gave people strength.
mhm.
And it makes sense that you can do something like that, but I felt like they kind of got rid of it kind of too easily. It's just like just a moment where like, boom, all right, now forget stones. Who cares?
Mhm.
I think there's only one question that I have left about this show.
Mhm.
Again, I give the show a 9 out of 10. Very solid, beautiful animation, beautiful colors. The characters were vibrant and lifelike. Even the side characters stood out a lot. My thing, why did the doctor stay?
I don't know.
So for anyone who hasn't watched the show, I'm going to spoil it now. So if this is you don't want to spoil it, you want to go see this thing for yourself, which I highly recommend. Please tune your ears out for the next minute or two. So the the daughter, Chiaki or Chobo, is a squid alien, and I'm guessing the mother is not or is. I can't really tell. They haven't really confirmed if she was or wasn't. But before that, before she picked up the squid child, there was another squid that she knocked out and sent in an escape pod back somewhere else, and that also went to Earth. But for some reason, at the end, he didn't go back with her to when they left, and that threw me off a little bit because like these two looked like they were very in love. So I thought that part was interesting. But then again, I could probably understand it if he wanted to stay with the person he was serving now because he promised and whatnot. But I don't know. That was my only question about the show. Other than that, like I said before, I felt like everything was great about this show. I enjoyed it from start to finish, and I believe that if anyone wants to watch this show, they should definitely go and check it out.
Hmm.
So let me hear it. Tell me about a place further in the universe.
Oh my god. Where to begin? Um. So yeah, this show is amazing. So this is a really good show. Yeah, I mean, I had heard about the show even before I was recommended it. Um, and it was just kind of, it was just a time period where I just wasn't watching that many things at the time, so I never got to it. And now, finally, with the push, I got to watch it, and yeah, this show is good. Good animation, good music, fun characters, and yeah, it's a really fun thing, like show. It really makes the most use out of what it has. In that, like, so the entire show, just to put simply, is about these four girls, who for one reason or another is going to Antarctica. The important thing is that going to Antarctica and everyone's reason for going is more of a backdrop for their own individual stories. Um, and just and but that doesn't mean Antarctica itself is undersold. Like, the view of it and everything they do there is just well executed and it looks amazing. Yeah, definitely it was a real experience of a show. My only one regret with this show is that I wish I got more time to watch it. Just simply because I feel like it's the kind of show that you need to watch over a longer period of time. It's a show that you really want to sit with you when you watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, I'm not going to say too much because I think everyone should watch the show. It's a great show, and yeah, Yuzuki was my favorite character. Just her perspective on things, like being the very more mature one of the group. Was Made her a lot of fun to watch.
Suzuki. That was the one who worked in the convenience store, yeah?
No, it was the actress.
Right. The one who wanted friends. Okay, yes.
Mhm.
They get. I have to go back and rewatch that show soon. And it's
Mhm.
been a minute, and I have to. So that brings us to this week upcoming.
Mhm.
What you got for me? What you got?
Okay. Well, so I had a show planned originally. Unfortunately, I'm due to a certain conversation we had by ourselves, that those plans changed completely. And so hopefully I'm going to surprise you with this show that I'm going to recommend you for this week.
All right.
You are going to be watching Drifters.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. So Drifters is a show I've really needed to see for a long time.
Mhm.
Okay. So give the people a little spiel about it.
Drifters. So Drifters is based on a manga written by his name is dropping on my mind right now, but it's the same mangaka as Hellsing.
Mm-hmm.
So to put simply, there are two sides in this fantasy world. There are drifters and ends, and these groups are made up of people renowned historical figures. After they died.
Hirano Kota. That was the name.
Mm-hmm. Actually, now thinking about it, it might be a woman. I forget.
No, it's a man.
Oh, okay. So yeah. And it's just like this. It's a really fun show because it's just kind of like seeing the interactions of like all these people from far different points in history interacting with each other in this fantasy world. And it's just so much fun to watch.
Okay, I can't tell you how actually excited I am to look into this. For you, I offer up a sparkling show from 2019 that I really enjoyed, named RobiHachi. So in this world, people have encountered aliens on the moon. Human technology has developed leaps and bounds, and it's half a century later. Uh, the main character, named Robby, can't catch a break, as he is a man who's stuck in his own misfortune. He owes money to a lot of people, and he's always getting caught up in get rich quick schemes. So he ends up going on an adventure to try and pay back some of his debts to a loan shark named the Yang, who
Hmm.
follows him across the galaxy to try and catch him and have him return the money that he owes, or become his slave, whichever comes first. This show is, I believe, it'll give you a lot of laughs. It's very colorful, and they really do an interesting job with how they handle space travel.
Hmm.
So I'm very interested to see how you uh, handle this show. I guess I should say.
Okay.
The director of it is the same man who did a lot of work for Gentamo.
Hmm.
So if you keep that in mind, you'll understand a lot of what it's going for comedy wise.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
Awesome.
So
All
that's
right.
been, yeah.
Yeah. And I guess that with that, um, this has been We Can't Run, an
The
anime
anime podcast.
podcast.
You know, we'll figure it out.
We won't.
We might.
I